So hello to everyone. Welcome to our webinar and welcome back to some of you as I see some familiar names in here. Thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to join us today. Today's agenda is going to include some introductions of myself and Lisa, our Chief Experience and Design Officer. She is going to lead us through a StartupOS demo, and we will conclude with what's to come for StartupOS and some live Q&A at the end. So you may have seen my pop-ups in the platform alerting you to events like this one, or simply connecting to see if there's anything that I or our team can do to help out during your journey. So hello, my name is Gabrielle. I'm the head of customer success here at StartupOS. I know some of you have already taken advantage of this feature and our availability and have already connected with us one-on-one, which is awesome. We love to hear from you all. So be sure to keep an eye out for these messages and I'll be sure to keep you all in the loop. So StartupOS lives up to our name. We are a startup ourselves. We are always looking for your feedback and input, particularly on how we can help you and your startup to thrive. So we've had some great responses from you all in the past, so we want to keep this momentum going. We will be raffling off a $100 Amazon gift card. To enter, simply send us a message in the app by the end of the day with your name and 1 to 2 sentences on how StartupOS can help you and your startup to thrive. So as you can see in the GIF in the bottom right-hand corner, you simply go to the little lightning bolt icon, click on live chat, send us a message, and include your name, your comment, and some kind of indication that you're coming from this webinar, whether it's a hashtag webinar or something in your sentence so that we can include you in the raffle. So this is the perfect segue to introduce Lisa, the Chief Experience and Design Officer here at StartupOS. Similar to many of you, Lisa actually just joined the team this past week. So she's been learning the ins and outs of the platform along with you, and she's offered to share and demo all that she's learned so far. Lisa?
All right. Thank you so much, Gabrielle. I'm going to go ahead and take the screen. So just give me a second here. All right, let's go. So what are we looking at here? This is our workspace. When you get into the tool, it's pretty incredible. You have a listing along this carousel, if you're following me, of different power packs that you can actually use and leverage throughout your experience with StartupOS. Power packs are a carefully curated groups of power-ups and plugins that provide directional guidance along your startup journey. As you can see, we have Pitch Perfect readily available to you, and these other power packs are coming soon. What I'm going to do is take you through a power pack because I want to guide you through this journey. So let me go ahead and click in. All right, now I'm going to scroll down. If you're watching me scroll, you'll see that, as I mentioned before, power-ups, plugins are all what comprise a power app. So if you were to go through a power app and you wanted to, let's say, for example, build a persona, this is a really easy way for you to be able to walk through and do a learn by doing exercise designed to build confidence, competence, and outcomes that create forward momentum. Why is this important? Because as you're doing this work, you want to build the perfect deck. So let me go ahead and I'm going to open Persona Builder and I'm going to show you what that's all about. So here in Persona Builder, what is very interesting, and you'll find this across all of the power ups, the Persona Builder walks you through creating a user persona. You go step by step. And if you look, this is an accordion feature. I can collapse it. I can expand it. You'll go in, you'll see that the course is comprised of videos and also learning pieces. However, you do need to complete each section before you can move on. And you can see right here that there is a next button. Now I want to talk to you a little bit about plugins. So let's go back. And also, I just do want to note, over here on the right, you do have this knowledge section. You do get details and it tells you about how much time it will take. Also up here, you see the completed work that you have done. So I'm going to go back now. Let's go to a plugin. Now, why are plugins important? Plugins are platform features used to enhance the performance and outcomes of power-ups and power packs. And as I mentioned before, a power pack is comprised of both. This includes things like mentor check-ins, utilizing your discovery board, which is over here on the left, and I'll get to that soon, and conducting research surveys to help you define, measure, and systemically, increase your chances of success. So if you see here, this Persona Builder is your power up. Over here on the right, this plugin market test actually is relative to that. So if I start, you can actually see where you are. You can actually go in and you can see where you left off. So I'm going to go back. Now, as mentioned before, what is great about this is that they all work in concert together. So you will have the ability to work on a full-blown Power App and get to the end. And I'll show you our dashboard, which will detail progress for you. Okay, now I'm going to go to the Work History tab. You can pick wherever you left off in a Power Up, whether you have 1 version or 20, and they'll all be here for you to check the status, resume, or archive. So let me go ahead and click on it. All right, and as mentioned, here, listed, and over here on the right are dates associated. So what is great once again is that you can actually go in. I'm so sorry, you can see the Power Up details, you can see who modified it, and when you can resume it. All right. So we're going to go back out. The next piece that we're going to talk about here is your dashboard. So let's take it away. Dashboard is very interesting. It is comprised of a series of modules that give you an overview of your StartupOS journey. The reason why I love this is because it's almost the health of what you're doing and also the progress states of what you're doing at a glance, which I love. So here on the dashboard, right here in the upper left corner, you have a runway calculator, gives you an understanding of your startup's financial health. There is a pro tip below to give you some additional advice, and you can actually click this read more to get that tip. Over here with the StartupOS score, this is very, very important. This is, right now we're back testing the algorithm, but in January, we are going to introduce scores. We're going to display them here on your dashboard for startups. It's being calculated and generated as you speak. And I want to talk about why it's important. It's important that you complete your profile, which I'm going to get to in a second. And if you have a higher StartupOS score, which is not shown yet, you'll get more access to investors. So let me give you an example. If your score is hovering around 250, for example, we would say that you're close to being ready for a seed round. However, if you're above 600, that will open up more investment opportunities. So keep up the great work and raise those scores. Okay, and then in terms of progress, if you scroll down here below, you can see, as mentioned, and I will get to in a second, your profile states actually need to be completed. And I'll talk about that in just a minute. And then also the power packs, which we described in that carousel feature. This is showing me how far along I am in my pitch perfect journey. So of course, you want to finish that, increase those scores, and get those investment dollars. Okay, now I'm going to move you over here to stay on track. Now, stay on track it's really a way for us to determine for you when we will offer a next pitch session. So it's very, very important that you pay attention to this over here, because as we come down, we are going to want to know how your score is weighing. And then we would like to, I want to let you know now that your score will weigh heavily into your ability to be in the running to pitch for that investor panel. So it's very important to get that work done and to get in front of those investors. Okay. Over here, continue your journey. Again, this is pretty straightforward, but right now it's showing me I'm in brainstorming and I want to resume that activity. So I can just go ahead and click on that button. That is the last place I left off. So I might want to resume right there. Okay. Now that we've gone through dashboard, I'm just going to keep going down here on the left. Discovery. So why is discovery important? I want you to take a look at the ecosystem of what is discovery. It's a board of notes and power dots. What do I mean by that? Our discovery feature provides you and your team with a unique tool for collecting and sharing market and user research, inspiration, notes, what have you. You can collect these and connect these dots along your StartupOS journey to fuel and synthesize new insights. Why is it important? Let's just say that you're sitting on one of your power apps, one of your power ups, and you want to leave yourself a quick note that you have forgotten about. You can actually just click on that link right there, that button, that CTA, and you can just enter a quick note. Don't forget to resume. Something as easy as that. So I want to go back out here. There's something called a power dot. If you click on that power dot, it is a more advanced feature of the note. Here, why is it great? Because you can actually, again, I would like to resume, but then also resume my power up for brainstorming. But I would also like to remind myself to do it today. You can also add links. You can attach files. You can embed links. There's so much you can do. You can also leave comments. Very, very important. So I'm going to go back out here. Let me show you a few more features. You can search on your discovery board and you can filter. So if I wanted to filter on the word practice, I can do so. And it will show me that one thing. Also, if you can take a look right here at this pin, it's showing you what is pinned. If I click on it, it will unpin it and throw it to the bottom. So we're still working out some features, but I just wanted to showcase that that is an option. One last thing I want to point out, if you are creating a new Power Dot, these ellipses here on the right, well, they're sort of a vertical ellipses. If you click on them, you can actually add references, which is very, very cool. And you can either click on this drop down and select which reference you want to focus on. Sorry. Or let's go back out here. You can actually add a new tag. Now, why is this cool? Because this is a manual customization piece. I can say Rockstar, right? And as you can see, it added it here. I can just add it, and now it is a part of my tags. So I just wanted to showcase for you all the power of what is behind discovery. You can also share the information. You can nest those URLs straight away in, and then you can see a video that's associated with it. So this is a really, really rich, really robust feature. Don't forget to, so as you saw before, it is now listed here. Okay, I'm going to move us to a completely different part of the site. Why is it important that we look at personal profiles? Let's go over here. Your personal account profile is very, very important to your experience here at StartupOS. I created this banner and also wrote a series of different types of information for myself about. I gave my LinkedIn profile, my superpowers, my experience. I have not yet uploaded a video. It is coming soon. As you know, I've only been here for less than a week. So let me go back up to the top. I'm also noted as being a teammate. This is very, very important. If you are a founder, you will get founder. If you're an investor, it all changes dependent upon what role you play. So I'm going to take you through really quickly, edit profile, and I will try to fly through this so that we can explain to you why it's important that you finish it. These green circles denote that you have pretty much gone through a large segment of the form and or you completed that segment of the form. It's important that you do that because over here on the left, if you look at this network tab, you want to have access to your network full of mentors. And in the future, very soon, we're going to get investors in here as well. So you cannot get to this feature unless you finish at 80% your profile. Okay, so that is the important thing to note here in this section. Now I'm going to go to startup. Again, we need to get this to 80%. If you do not get it to 80%, again, you will fall into that bracket of you cannot get access to network. And I'll show you what that is in a minute. It's very robust and it's awesome. So here inside of startup, you get a nice banner, which you can customize for yourself. Put up your logo. Write about information for that startup. You can upload videos, which is so great, your founder story about us, your LinkedIn profile. But let me show you another reason why it's awesome. You can allow investors to see that pitch deck that you're creating. Very, very important as you're trying to go for that money. Over here on the right, invite team. So you can invite your team through this link. So if you are a founder and or you are a team member now at this point, you can invite people into your team. And as you can see, I have a pretty slamming team. Gabrielle right here was the person who introed both of us. So she is awesome. She is on the line. Hey, and Paul. I believe a lot of other individuals have joined us. So now I'm going to move from this section into network. Now, network is extremely important. I'm going to talk to you about what it means to have access to this very, very, very rich feature. So StartupOS platform, it helps to connect connect early stage founders with seasoned network of mentors, which help to expand your founders network, and also increase the startup's profitability and probability for success. So we want to be sure that you connect with the right people who are mentors, maybe in your space, or maybe you just feel some affinity towards that individual, but it's important that we get them in front of you. Our mentors are individuals with deep industry or entrepreneurial experience gained within the innovation ecosystem. They work with early stage founders and startups with expectation of reward or compensation and willingly share their knowledge, guidance, freely across the network when needed. So through mentoring, our mentors will gain fresh insight and perspectives and the opportunity to become a leader, contribute to elevating the startup ecosystem, gaining inspiration, motivation, new networks, new friends, all of it, this whole ecosystem. Mentors are willing to commit to that and helping you along your journey. Also, I just want to talk about commitment. So mentors will be willing to commit at least 2 hours per month for mentoring sessions. That is gold. Like that is just unbelievable to have these industry experts be able to talk to you. Okay. So again, you might want to connect with individuals. Once they connect, you can schedule meetings with them. And I'm going to walk you through two very rich features. You want to communicate and collaborate with them. So why is that important? Because you are now essentially, as a founder, building your network. So first, I want to show you this feature that I love. You can see that your network might grow vastly, right? As you can see, it's doing this auto refresh, right? But you might want to find someone special. In particular, I'm going to look for Paul. Okay, our wonderful CEO and mentor. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to view Paul's profile. Here, what is very important about this is seeing that they are verified. Once they are verified, you can connect with them, okay? And they need to accept. So if I hover, you can see, you can remove connection if it was done in error. All right. What are some really great things about this? Again, this is now a profile that has been filled out. You can see about us. You can see his profile information, all of those things. And then let's go to request meeting. Now, I want to show you why request meeting is very important, because you have meetings up here. You have meetings down here. If you just want to create a meeting and you're not sure with who, you can go straight to the meetings tab. You don't have to go through the whole process. If you want to schedule a meeting with a specific, and you're just happen to be in the network screen and you want to schedule one specifically with a person that you've just come across, you can go ahead and request the meeting here. The functionality is the same, so it's not confusing. Let me click here on request meeting. Now, what is great about this? You get either a 30-minute block or a 60-minute block, which I love. So if you feel like there's a lot that you need, again, you get 2 hours. So if I want to schedule 30 minutes with Paul, and I select a date, I don't want to pick anything within this week. So let's say a random Thursday, and maybe this just fits with me better. Or let's see, the 20th, okay, a random Tuesday. I'm going to pick a time here that is available for Paul. Now, I like to do mine a little later, so I might pick 5 p.m. And I'll write him a little note saying, Paul, all right. And then I will say confirm. Now, when you do that, the beauty of it is you get a catfish right here in the bottom right of your screen that says booking created successfully. That sound was also my email telling me that it came to my email address. And you get this, which is a confirmation that it has been set up. So all of these things done right within the system, which is great. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about our messages feature. So let me send a message to Paul now, because I really want him to know I'm very excited. So I'm going to write him a message. All right. So now that I send it, it works just like a chat, right? Almost. He can just respond straight away to me. I'm really excited about that. He just wrote hello. So it's done like lightning fast, as you can see in 1 second. It's a quick collaboration. It's a quick turnaround. I also have sent different messages to different individuals who are also mentors in the system. So it's great. All right, now I'm going to move on to, it's last, but I will say definitely not least, events. Here in the menu bar at the top, if I click on events, you'll see that there will be all events that are coming up in the near future and or even the distant future. December 14th, which is today, this is our webinar, was shown here. You can just simply click on it to register. So any subsequent event we have in the future, any future events, you can click right here and it will take you to this web registration form. Once you fill this out and you submit it, you are now officially registered to attend an event. That actually concludes my time with you. This was such a joy, and I thank you so much. And I'm going to hand it back to Gabrielle.
Thank you so much, Lisa. That was awesome. So I'm going to follow up with a quick what's to come for us, and then we're going to go right into the Q&A session. So as you can see here, this is a sneak peek from last week's Pitch Perfect 2. We had 5 awesome founders pitch to investors last week. In late January, early February, we plan to have our next pitch day event. So stay tuned for more information about that. We're going to have a new and improved platform updates, which includes the StartupOS score that Lisa mentioned. And we'll also be onboarding investors onto the platform. So someone already asked a question about more Power Packs coming to the platform. And Paul answered in the chat that they will be coming in Q1 of 2023. So Q1 of next year.
Can I expand on that quickly?
Absolutely.
So we are a continuous development startup, meaning that you will constantly see new things in new updates in your dashboard, new profile pages, Lisa and her design team are doing an amazing job redoing some of the pieces we have and creating new ones. For Q1, investors are coming on, a new stakeholder. We have one group of students currently on with one university. We expect more. But the investor side coming in mid-January should be the most exciting, where the investors now, based on your StartupOS score, which we'll be generating in January also, will be reaching out and connecting directly with you and having ability to have conversations. So we anticipate having pitch events every month at a minimum, one a month. We will have investors on and new pitch perfect power packs coming in Q1. So a lot of great things coming for you at StartupOS. I appreciate your early support. It's early on our platform, but every day we're going to get better and grow our network much deeper, much wider, and hopefully to get you better outcomes.
Thank you, Paul. So the floor is open. If you'd like to ask your question live, just raise your hand, or if you prefer to type it in the chat for us, we'll be monitoring that as well.
Gabrielle, they can ask questions at any time on the platform, correct? So if they're not ready yet, when they're on the platform, they can certainly ask in the chat box on the bottom right.
That is correct. So using the platform feature that I showed in the beginning of this, so there's a little lightning bolt icon. That is our live messenger. So message us with any questions, any feedback with your webinar feedback. We also have a customer success email. If you'd prefer to email us, it's success@startupos.com. So there's multiple ways to get in contact with us if you ever need to.
Full job. Super exciting. And thank you all for participating, being part of our network.
1 second, we do have a question.
Okay.
Trevor. Yeah, to clarify, your OS score is going to be made up of your Power Pack performance.
The StartupOS score has over 250 attributes. So part of it is your profile. Is it your founding team? Are you a serial founder, a first-time founder? What size of your market size? What's your TAM, SAM, SUM? How deep are you getting traction towards product market fit? It's a collection of things. The great thing for you as a founder, it'll also be transparent for you. So you'll be able to see your score and decide if it's something that you want to share with investors or not on your profile and be included. So it's a magical tool. I spent a lot of time up and down Sand Hill Road, going and knocking on doors and getting meetings and raising money. And we're hoping to shorten that process for you. We're hoping that this will allow investors to see the work that you're doing early and spot you and be able to connect with you, as opposed to you having to go out to each investor. So we think it's going to become a very powerful tool, and we're excited. We're doing a lot of back testing on it right now, and it should be available to you some point early January.
And Brian asked, is there a charge for the service? And there is no charge at all for founders, Brian. So if anyone's curious if we're charging for any of this, there are no fees associated for any of the startups or founders on our platform.
Love it. Where were we 4 years ago? This is awesome, right? It's such a good idea. It should have already been done, but we're very thankful to our backers at Silicon Valley Bank and all the wonderful people at StartupOS. And we're founder friendly, founder first, and we're here to help you every step of the way.
Awesome. Thank you so much for all of the support. Thank you for the help, Lisa. Thank you, Paul. I think that concludes our webinar for today. So I'm going to leave this up for another minute or so if anyone wants to write down the information. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much.